Well, let's just do like the first couple of scenes, like where he like I've got a couple of monologues and stuff. He recruits Frank Young for fascist Borstal headmaster.
Yeah, we can do like filming like when he gets out of the
plane,
and we can do like to the end of Frank Young bit. Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll try to do like the police officer, but it will just be like the same voice I always do.
Yeah, so the episode starts with Gapes returning to Ilford from his Gape year in Swaziland. Farewell, Swaziland, with your Strauss music, your glamour and easy charm. How it pains me to say goodbye to you. My work bringing democracy to your proud shores is not done yet. Just like Iraq, you needed shock and awe, and indeed I was shocking and awe-inspiring. Of course, there are still diamond mines in the control of the inefficient, meddling state, still reactionary elements of the military begging for more training in the latest US enhanced interrogation techniques. But it has been a lovely gap year, or Gapes year, as a man of letters. A, B, C, D, F. I have always aspired to mould the minds of our children, to touch these children, if you will, and it was a joy to educate the uncivilized youths of the Africas in the syllabus of the School of the Americas. And yet, I suppose my premature ejaculation was inevitable, if still a travesty of justice. It was those swindlers and thieves in the village with their flaming torches and the pitchforks who caused the so-called diplomatic incident. I merely made an innocent mistake. I don't even know how they made the fuck gape signs. If those brutes could speak English, they certainly weren't speaking it to me. And I, in turn, refused to teach it to them. Was I supposed to know those infants were not my own long-lost children? The dignified bald skulls, the rotund physique, the dependence on milk for sustenance. Some of them even had the ruddy complexion of a Gapes. You see, they all bore all the hallmarks of possessing the strong, milky genes particular to the superior Gapes bloodline. They were mine, my progeny. A mighty army I would have made. A resistance army for the Lord. Anyway, the illegitimate government of Swaziland felt differently, as did the UN and various human rights groups. So we meet, dear listener, as I am in the process of being deported back to Ilford South International Airport, introduced by Howard Wilson's communist government in the previous lost decade, an inadequate pint of complimentary airline milk pressed to my lips. So a plane touches down. Ilford, I have returned!
Please sit down, sir. The plane has not yet landed. Sir, get down. Get away from the door!
Sound of plane door opening and whooshing.
Don't jump out!
The king has returned! Sound of jumping and smashing on concrete. Didn't feel a thing. Now, where's the Gapes welcoming committee?
Stand back, everyone! Some maniac has just jumped from a... Oh, it's my Gapes. How are you, young sir, in this, the year of our Lord, 1977?
Feeling strong, young man. The spirit of Africa runs through my veins now, as it did my ancestors. Is the chief of police to greet me, Giovanninson?
Oh, he's in jail.
What?
Yeah, he killed his mistress.
Wow, it must have been hard to work out that it was him. One would have thought him such a distinguished member of Ilford society, a citizen above suspicion.
Yeah, not really. He left a lot of clues on purpose for some reason. Basically, told it was him. We solved it immediately.
How strange.
Yeah, we think he was trying to make some sort of point. Gosh, I haven't seen you since Good Friday, that long one.
The long one? Oh, don't remind me. So much chaos. Theme to the long Good Friday plays. You mean to tell me you could have taken your hand out of that cuff at any time? Roger Rabbit. Can you do a Roger Rabbit voice?
Yeah. Not at any time. Only when it was funny.
Luigi. Hey, Mario! Fuck off, Luigi! I'm busy with this cartoon rabbit, and then I've got to drive a high-class escort around for my gangster boss and help Hook with Peter Pan. Christ, will this Good Friday never end? Flashback ends.
Fucking Christ. Fucking Christ.
FFF.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Things have changed in Ilford since you've been away, young Master Gapes. Ignore the fact how you sound exactly like Richard Miller and Timothy Baker.
Yeah, people haven't met them yet in this. It doesn't. That's fine.
That doesn't work.
Yeah, say that again. Say that line again.
Things have changed in Ilford since you've been away, young Master Gapes.
It always does. We are tied together, me and Ilford South, our souls as one.
Trots, tankies, students, they think we own the place.
We will take care of it, my brave Bobby friend. Don't you worry.
IRA running rampant. Rivers of blood running through the streets, although there's been little to no activity.
Wait, no, but do this line properly. This is this is how our actual recordings go, where I'm like, do another take of that.
Yeah, it is. Like, IRA running rampant. Rivers of blood running through the streets. Although there's been mysteriously... Sorry, I'll start again. Yeah, but again, this is very close to our actual recordings where we just fucking stuff up constantly and Jack is constantly yelling at me.
You can do it.
Go on. IRA running rampant. Rivers of blood running through the streets. Although there's mysteriously been little to no activity from the GG gang since you left for no reason.
This will not stand! I'm rounding up the Gape Goon Generals, the Goonerals. The policeman then just continues ranting in the background as Gapes walks away.
So, fairies, women, Albanians, midgets, druggies, blacks.
Yes.
Oh, I see what happens with these scripts now, yeah.
It's the character. No,
it's actually, the character. I have no problem with blacks.
No, Sinan, you're right, but right. Firstly, he's using that phrase because the story's set in the 70s.
Yeah.
And that is what a police officer in the 70s would say. Secondly, you're right, Sinan, in the script, actually, I cut him off mid-word there. Anyway, cool 70s track plays. We haven't decided what yet. So Gapeson continues in voiceover. Oh, the 60s really did a number on Ilford. I thought once I had taken care of that trot President Kennedy, the descent into depravity might be averted. How wrong I was. Free love meant the Gapes family brothels went bust, a situation only compounded by the new laws against bestiality. Just one...
I'm so sorry.
Just one young lad came knocking at the door of the kennel club by the end. Ian something, smart boy. Wouldn't surprise me if he donned the frock and joined the House of Lords one day. And speaking of boys, the first man on my list of trusty Gapes generals was Big Frank Young. Wait, he what? Frank Young, the general in training, not even earned his GG initials yet. His initials, as you can see, are FY. He might have been a bit harsh. Some would say fascist, including, I believe, Frank himself, several loud open-air rallies. But no boy who went to his borstal ever blew a raspberry at me again. No, not after Frank took their lips, and their tongues, and their eyes. Death had to take Frank sleeping, for if he had been awake, there would have been a fight. Yes, a notoriously violent man, especially towards children and the disabled, as well as adults and able-bodied people. Like Frank, the 60s died, and what it would be replaced with was even worse. In the 1970s, the socialism of Keynes revealed all its childish Nazi flaws, and stagflation grew. Everybody was unemployed because they were too busy being in Trotskyist trade unions. The rubbish was left uncollected, piling up in the streets. British Rail had bad sandwiches, which was also Keynes's fault, and why they should be ruthlessly privatised, the railways, along with British Gas, British Telecom, and the NHS. Even the famous Ilford South data mines, previously the beating economic heart of the wider Ilford area, had become uneconomic. They were sold to the best-placed private bidder, who unfortunately had no choice but to impose mass redundancies, abolish all health and safety measures, and cancel all the pensions due to the funds being spent on milk. Well, Gape's family shell companies are not made of money, you know. It was a time to wage glorious war on the communism fast poisoning the fabric of southern Ilford society. Onto the next goonral, a man whose driving is so beautiful they call him Jerry. I don't know. So that we weren't going to do that next scene, were we? Yeah. We were just going to go up to the Frank Young bit.
Yeah, we're not going to record the entire episode.
Yeah, we're just going to do it. Yeah, do it right now. No, don't do it right now.
But you have an idea about
how about while you've got us here, while you've got the terrible twosome.
Yeah,
that's what we call it when we have set.
I was like Jodie Hill and Danny McBride.
Exactly. Yeah. Since you've got us both here, what if we do one more little scene for you?
All right, go on. One more scene.
One more little scene.
What Jack is planning.
FFF. Hit me with that a good Johnny Polio shit.
Oh Christ!
Johnny Polio. Oh, he's so good.
What did you think? What scene did you think I was gonna say?
I thought you were gonna go the Johnny Polio song about him. Basically,
Yeah,
like Johnny probably like him doing stuff to young girls.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to rewrite that song yet, so we're not gonna perform it. We're not. It's just your raw material there. It needs to be refined. Okay.
But
Wow,
yeah, we also
so-
don't know who's gonna do the voice for Johnny Polio.
We've
This is
also got a first time chat from Soapy One Kenobi. I'm sorry for what's about to happen.
Yeah, you're gonna hear some really incredible stuff here. Okay, so basically, Gapes is still recruiting his Gape Goon generals, the Goon rules, going around
sorry.
Ilford South. He's just recruited our recurring character, Jimothy Baker's father, and then he decides that he needs to meet he needs like reinforcements.
Yeah, it's like an Ocean's 11 thing, but all the 11 of the most awful people we've met. And also, like, most of them die, so it's like, it turns out to, like, be an Ocean thing.
Yeah, well, Frank Young has already died when Gapes goes to look for him. Anyway, so Gapes starts.
With Jimothy mired in self-pity, my adventure with him will have to wait another time. Wait till another time, I suppose that should be. Poor chap, it can't be easy being a loser. Not that I would know. I, Mike Gapes, always win. Whether it be a raffle I've organised or an election in 2019, I always win, no matter what anyone else says. But with no Jimothy, we will not be at full strength. I didn't want to have to enlist the next Goonrel if I could help it, but with him at my side, I will feel safer. Mostly because I know he isn't behind me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Poet Laureate of Ilford South, the voice of the promise of Ilford South, the guy who forced Ilford South into bed with rock and roll, and Ilford South residents into bed with rock and rollers, who fled Ilford South in the 60s and disappeared into a haze of substance abuse and unconvincing false identities, who returned to rediscover Ilford South after his conviction was expunged, who was written off as a has-been and a disgraced pervert, and who suddenly shifted gears, committing some of the strongest acts of perversion and disgrace of his career, beginning in the early 70s. Ladies and gentlemen, Ilford South recording artist, Johnny Polio. I'll just quickly read this Johnny Polio song, see if any of it is usable.
Just make sure. Actually, maybe don't sing it. I've just read it and I'm like, oh, maybe don't.
I think the first two lines are okay.
Yeah.
Oh girl, don't listen to what they say. There's time for work and time for play.
That is it. That is all you can read out, really.
Yeah, come with me and you'll live the dream. If anyone asks, you're over 16. Okay.
That's it.
So,
I think we have to call it there. We really can't read any more of that. So that's everyone. That's a VOD burned. We haven't had the burn. No. Before it was burned, to be fair.
I was going to skip the entire song. Don't worry. Okay, what about...
It does get very libelous as it goes on.
Yeah, I'm like reading ahead, and also it is 9. I kind of don't. I have a hard stop time, as is well documented. Unless.
I don't know if I've actually got the chance to rewrite this yet.
Having looked at it.
I'm pretty sure I would have taken out that line about Bob Dylan and anyone who enjoys his music.
That's so good.
Yeah, I was literally like just written in to annoy Jack.
This is a good line. Oh no, Johnny, you'll be dead by then. You and rock and roll. It will be synthesizers and computer music like Age of Consent. Sounds like my sort of bag, you dig? I wish it were, Johnny. Oh, how I wish it were. The days of the giants are nearly over. Real killers like Jerry Lee Lewis, the drummer from Derek and the Dominoes, allegedly Don Henley, and you, of course.
All right. I think on that note, it's time, everyone. It is. The time is 9 p.m. I am gonna unpublish this VOD very quickly after we're done, and then
not until you've ripped the audio.
No, don't worry. I can still do that with it unpublished. That's fine. There's our boy.
FFF,
right, everyone.
This has inspired me to return to the 70s script and refine it further.
Well, that's something good that's come out of this. Then, everyone. Good night. Catch me tomorrow from 6. Send me YouTube videos to watch.
Bye,
good night,
everyone.
Bye-bye. I hope you found it all good time.
I didn't even have time to defend Eric Clapton.
I raided you.